My next guest story is truly inspirational, and I have been so looking forward to speaking with her. Debra Wallace is an award-winning journalist, content provider, editor, motivational speaker, and autism expert. She enjoys using her communication skills to improve the lives of children and adults with autism and other special needs. She most importantly is the loving mother of her remarkable autistic son, Adam, who has grown her heart and taught her kindness, patience, and the power of positivity. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for coming and talking about this today, Debra.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
You are welcome. So the subject of autism, it really fascinates me. They are unique human beings who perhaps think differently than, what society thinks is normal. And I am sure you have witnessed the box that society puts these incredible humans in. Can you please, share with us and talk about the nevers? I love that you heard from experts after your son was diagnosed with autism. And, how did you actually react to that? Because I understand the nevers.
Well, he was diagnosed at about 2.5. He wasn't hitting his marks and developmentally in terms of speech and other things. And I heard from leading neurologists and developmental pediatricians and therapists and caseworkers that he was never really going to be able to talk beyond mom, dad, cookie, ball.
Wow.
That he was never going to go to a public school and take typical classes.
Yes.
There just wasn't, the future was looking very bleak.
Right.
And they just used, brain damage and threw out a lot of words, and we didn't agree. My late husband and I said, "You're wrong, and we'll find people who, with love and with kindness, and we're going to find the right speech therapy and the other therapies that he needs." And they were wrong. He's graduating from high school in June. He's the most talkative person with autism you'd ever want to meet.
I love that. There's a lot of talk, podcasts and things. There's the telepathy tapes. They dismiss the idea that people with autism don't know how to learn. So of course you have dismissed that. And, there are millions of families affected by autism in some way. What would you say is your best advice that you can give to parents of children and adults with autism?
First of all, realize that this journey, and it really never ends, whether the child is verbal or not verbal, into adulthood, is 2 steps forward and 1 step back. It's definitely not linear.
Yes.
And it's different from maybe a neurotypical child.
Right.
With patience, with love and kindness and the right supports from family, from friends. If you're not in my wagon, then get out of my wagon. It really takes people who want to understand our children, want to love our children, and not jump to putting them in these boxes.
Right.
Appreciating
the labels too.
Right.
So I've heard so many amazing things about your son. You can recap them. He's going to college. He just did a play. Is that what I hear?
Yes, he was in the high school musical. It's like his 5th one.
Wow.
He was in Mamma Mia.
Wow.
And he danced a little. He sang a little. He acted a little.
I love that.
My friends and his friends who graduated, they all flocked to see him and write encouraging notes and, meet them where they are.
I love that. So we really can't do this journey, whether you are, taking care of an autistic child or whatever. We can't do this alone.
No.
So we flourish when we feel supported. So how can, family and friends and your community support, our loved ones with autism?
Promote inclusion. Don't tell me at the school level or the community level, well, that program just doesn't have a special needs or an autism component.
Right.
Find one, make one.
Yes.
If it's a 20-hour course, let's see if we can massage it or change it or do it over a little bit more time. It's starting to happen in the community colleges and the colleges. Their offices of developmental disability and other things. They're helping a little bit. They're understanding that they might need a tutor or a mentor, but everybody just needs to appreciate our children and adults with autism, love them, be kind to them, and don't jump to conclusions.
Right. But it also comes from you. And I just want to express my support for you, because it's coming from you. All this, his flourishing is coming from, I mean, not just from you, but also the community. So as we wrap here, I mean, I just love this subject, but what would you say is one abundant word you can share that describes your life as maybe as a caregiver to your incredible, beautiful, unique son?
More than one word.
Okay,
a thrilling roller coaster ride. Thrilling. Just up and down and up and down.
Yes.
And I never liked roller coasters before I had them. But you just buckle up and you know you're going to have the time of your life, and there's going to be some twists and turns.
What a great attitude towards that, because, you know, the up and down roller, that is, and I got to change it to a phrase rather than word, because I love that. So thank you so much for sharing your story, you know, with all of us. And thank you for coming in today.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a sheer pleasure.
You're welcome. We will be right back, so don't go away.